Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to ETH Global, ETHOnline 2022. I'm Alec from Valist. I'm here with my co-founder, Zach, and we are going to teach you a little bit about publishing your apps and games to Web3. So I'm going to jump in, give a quick presentation, go through a couple things on the docs just to show you the use cases and how to get started. And then I'm going to pass it to Zach for some awesome demos. So let's get started. Valist is a Web3 native app store and software publishing protocol. And right now, Web3 is a big problem. We're putting tons of energy into decentralization just to re-centralize everything at the distribution level by taking our Web3 software and publishing it over Web2 platforms like GitHub, Steam, app stores, pretty much you name it. Honestly, this affects all of Web3 from the infrastructure side all the way to the wallets that the end users are using. From all of the protocols, all the way to really all of the DeFi apps. So everything is either relying on Microsoft servers, Google servers, Amazon, GitHub, Steam, app stores, pretty much all Web2 gateways powering this stuff right now. And there are lots of issues with this, some of which we've even seen over the past few weeks pretty aggressively. Things like risk of compromise, censorship, and availability risk. So if for whatever reason an organization chooses not to or is legally forced to take certain software down, that is definitely a problem for the protocols that we're building on, right? So we don't want those to be censorable. And then if you're using their centralized payment infrastructure, they're taking at least 30+%, which is actually insane. They're taking that from your hard-earned money. And how did we even get there? So really, honestly, they own your products, they own your users, and your users don't even own anything at the end of the day. Since they control the whole distribution, you don't even have a direct relationship with your customers. And then the things that they're buying aren't even actually theirs. They're not true digital ownership like we have with Web3. But it's a good thing we have the tools to solve this. And Valist is a set of these tools that coordinate protocols together to make publishing software in Web3 super, super easy. Things like publishing, fetching, secure auto updates, and even really cool things like DAOs coordinating software releases together, as well as being able to monetize apps and replacing your app purchases, in-app purchases, game purchases, things like that with software licensed NFTs. So this is kind of a Web3 native DRM system that you can use now. And what can we do now that we're in Web3? Well, first, things look pretty familiar. Valist is a very similar look to things like Versal and very friendly other platforms you're already used to. Ported over common features, things like version control, publishing, fetching, ability to update artifacts, as well as managing both team level access control and project level access control so that you can have different forms of security there. And then once we're ported over, you're no longer relying on a single entity for distribution. The Valist protocol runs completely independently of Valist.io. And then you can monetize your software directly via non-fungible tokens. So again, being able to replace your in-app purchases, your app purchases with software licenses as NFTs instead of random access codes in some database in some Web2 platform somewhere that you issue via email. But DAOs can now coordinate releases as well. So you can imagine things like new versions of Ethereum or Polygon being upgraded by a DAO community and everyone building and verifying the actual implementation together instead of just coordinating on the protocol spec. And then you could also do things like secure auto update mechanisms powered by smart contracts and IPFS. So you can imagine a world where all of our infrastructure is updating itself through this global fabric that we're all powering together. And then we have built-in public good funding mechanisms. So the built-in protocol revenue that powers the storage and meta transactions, there's an additional 2.5% community fee that you can opt into to help build the Valist community treasury. And then everyone who's publishing on Valist and building this on-chain reputation can help vote for funding public goods, indie game dev, indie app development, you name it. So you can sort of imagine this as if the App Store took a portion of its revenue and reallocated it to the developers that are making the App Store the thing. And so how does it work? Well, like I said, it ties together a bunch of Web3 protocols. This is a super simplified version of it, but these are essentially the base protocols that it's tying together. The developer publishes a release. All the software is stored on IPFS and archived for long-term on Filecoin and a bunch of different miners. So your software is definitely not going to disappear. And then all of this is then archived, and the source of truth is stored on Polygon smart contracts. So usernames, project names, version names, and all the security around that is powered by a smart contract. And then the Valist clients are then tying all this together with meta transactions, passwordless email login, and everything like that to make it super easy for you. So you can fetch the newest releases, publish new ones, and so on. And you can use it with several different ways. We have different interfaces depending on your preferences. We have a web front end, app.valist.io. And then we have this new Sapphire Launcher that we're actually unveiling here. That is your desktop and Android client. So you could think of this as Steam or the App Store for your desktop and Android. And you could also publish with the CLI and GitHub Action, depending on your pipeline. And if you want to get into the nitty gritty, build auto update systems, things like that, there's the TypeScript and Go SDKs for you. The web app looks, again, very similar to things like Versal, Netlify, shows all of your projects, allows you to manage releases. And Zach will get into this in a bit, as well as the Sapphire Launcher, which is our cross-platform game and app launcher. This is super, super cool. Local IPFS node, everything can be stored and saved onto your local machine. And then you can launch and play native Web3 games, web built games, as well as regular web apps, all from a local installation. So this is true decentralization here. And then your CLI allows you to run a super simple publishing command that you just say Valist publish the account name, the project name, you give it a version and the folder that you're trying to publish. And the CLI also has some advanced configuration I'll get into later. And then the GitHub Action is a super easy way to just insert this right into your existing GitHub Action release pipeline. And all it just requires is a signing key that has permission on that project. And then you just tell it what version to build and the path to build, and it will publish anything you need. SDK, super simple to use. You can programmatically fetch and update. Everything about Valist is built from the Valist SDK. So you're using the direct implementation by using this here. And you can find it at valist.io. That'll take you pretty much everywhere. The docs are a really excellent resource, and we are super stoked to help you out in the Discord. So please join us there and share what you're working on. We'd love to help you out wherever we can. And everything about Valist, from the smart contracts to the client, is open source, available on GitHub. And if you'd like to add support for other types of software, we'd love to see contributions. And thank you so much and good luck. I'm going to jump into just a quick docs page, and then I'm going to pass it off to Zach. So the docs right here, docs.valist.io, will tell you whatever you need to know. And we'll give you a brief intro about Valist, how things are stored, the way it works. It'll walk you through creating an account and projects on the web dashboard. And then the web dashboard has a few primary sections to check out. And then, of course, the Sapphire Launcher. We're working on a signed build for the community, but you can check out the features, and you can even install a dev version here, super simply, if you want to try it out or contribute. And then the CLI, really easy way to set this up here, allows you to generate a fresh key locally or import an existing key. We recommend generate a fresh one and add that to a project just so that you can have separate signer keys. But publishing a release is super simple, as you can see. And then for cross-platform builds, there's some advanced configuration that you can do with a valist.yml file. And you could, of course, download releases from there. And then lastly, but not least, is the GitHub Action. You can publish this. We have working examples for various different types of projects. Here's a Next.js one, for example, here that's building and publishing it live. And then you could see some of the example workflows from there as well. And then instructions for publishing web apps, support Next.js, any static web platform, and the different ways to do that here are all shown. And then things like binaries and executables. Zach will get into the Uni stuff here in a second, but there's different instructions for how to do that, as well as how to work with software license NFTs. And so this is just a quick example of what that looks like. We actually have an example projects repo that is here that has all of this ready to go from a multi-platform Go binary with multi-platform releases configured. Next.js project, React project, as well as how to use the SDK in a Node.js environment. So lots of different resources there for you. I'm going to pass it to Zach, but let us know if you need anything.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Alec. Let's jump into the web app here. So this is the Valist dashboard. You can find it by navigating to app.valist.io. Right now, I'm not signed in, so this is just the default onboarding flow. And so with this, there's 3 basic steps to get started with Valist. You can connect your wallet, create an account, and then create a project. So I am going to start by connecting my local MetaMask here, and then you'll see upon logging in, I am greeted by my Valist dashboard. Hello and welcome. And I actually have my primary account selected here, web game. But we are going to go through the process of how I actually created this account. So I can click new account here, and I will be prompted for some basic info. This is just your basic public account info. So I can do an account image. Normally for me, I like to use my Crypto Coven, shout out to Crypto Coven, just as my default profile photo. And then I have my account name. So the thing about Valist though, everything is decentralized, everything is on chain. So account namespaces are immutable, which means they cannot be changed, which means once I claim this account name, I can't change it. I would have to create another one. So here I could just say web game, or, you see that's taken. So then I could say web game 2, and now that namespace is available currently on Valist. Then for the display name, it's just like any traditional platform. I have my namespace, but then I have a bit more descriptive of a display name here. So I could make this my real name. Or if I have like a game studio or a DAO or something like that, I could put something like that here. I also can then enter my website for this account, and then a brief account description, an amazing metaverse game studio, something like that. And sorry about my bad spelling. But so then members, Alec touched on it a bit here. On Valist, there are 2 different levels of access control. There are the account admin level keys, and then there are the project level keys, which we will actually talk about in a bit here. But on this page, I can kind of just view a couple quick bullet points of everything that this key is able to do on this account. And so this is, again, where if I had a DAO or a multi-sig wallet or some sort of governance system, I could even insert the ENS or the address for that here. And I could even have my DAO or governance contract vote on what the next thing to be published or the next transaction that the community is signing off on. And that's really it here. You'll see it actually takes my default Pelkey.eth account from my MetaMask, and I don't even have to really add a default account member. I could add any other members I want here, but I'm going to stick with that default Pelkey.eth, and I would be able to create. And for time here, I'm just going to skip this create, and I'm going to go back to the home screen. And so now we are greeted with our beautiful dashboard with our web game account. But now we have to create a project. So I'm going to go through creating this example FPS project that you see that I have here. So if I click create project, kind of the same thing here. Now for my actual project, I have the ability to select some basic info. So I'm going to go to my desktop and my demo folder with all my images here. I have a nice gamer-oriented profile photo. So this is the photo that in the app library or the various parts of the marketplace, I would see this app now appear with this profile picture. And then I can actually add a name to this as well. This namespace is also immutable. So once you create it, you can't change it. So I'm just going to call this FPS. And that's already taken again. So again, I could just say FPS2. And then for a display name, I could say in Epic FPS game. or really whatever I want to describe that website, just a website. You can enter any website you want there. But then project type. So on Valist, there are actually 3 different types of projects. There's web, native, and CLI. Right now, we're creating a web project. So this is any assets, again, kind of like Alex said, any static web content, Gatsby sites, React sites, Next.js sites. Big fan of Next.js, shout out. But we also support native or CLI. So any CLI binaries, anything like NPM, Brew, any of those. Act is a really great CLI used for GitHub Actions. Any of those sorts of binaries you can publish under the CLI and then launch it natively through Valist. Or if you have a native EXE for any kind of game, any kind of Unity project, we support EXEs, .app files, or again, just any random binary artifact. Like if you're on Linux, upload it, fully cross-platform, full support for it. But so I'm going to click web here. And then this is a game, and my game also has NFTs. So I'm going to click NFT. And so what this will do is on the Valist marketplace, when people are searching, whether by tag or by category or browsing through the marketplace, this will allow them to much more easily discover my game now, whether they're searching for like a game or any NFT related project along with the name of my project. So if I continue along here now, my project has a short description. So again, I could just put a quick short description. And so this is what will show up when people actually search for your game on Valist, the description that will be displayed just as a quick short description. But I actually have a full description here, and I can actually write full markdown here. So if I do, I can add a markdown heading, and then I could even just add some example text about my game. And again, just please excuse my spelling. And so then anything else you'd want to add here, images, videos, bullet points, URLs, full markdown, copy and paste your README. Please, if you're submitting for the hackathon, please, please, please add your README. So now I continue to my access control on the members page. Once again, all of my different things that this project level member can do is add or remove other project members, update project info, or publish new releases. So this is, once again, if you had CI/CD or other signer keys you want to add here, you can drop them in as publishers to integrate with any existing release pipeline that you might have to have it sign off on these Valist transactions. And my Pelkey.eth is in there as well, listed as an existing account admin. But again, I could add any other keys I want here or any ENS name. Okay, so now we get to the really cool part, media. Everybody loves media. So especially gamers, you know, you need screenshots, you need videos, you need all this amazing stuff to kind of showcase your software to the world. You can paste in any kind of YouTube link you have. Again, please, 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 if you have a video link of your demo, add it to your profile. It'll make it look so beautiful. It'll make it look so great. Please add your videos. Header image, I'm just going to select in the same folder here. I have this really cool image that I like to use. And then, of course, my gallery images, my screenshots for my game. So I have a couple screenshots here of my game, and I can add both of those. And then it would be the exact same thing. I would create this transaction. Everything will be pushed to IPFS and Filecoin, and the transaction will be on Valist. But for time's sake, I am going to click this profile that I've already created. And here is our screenshots. Here is our amazing markdown rendered in there. And here is my project member, Pelkey.eth, that is rendered in there as well. So I can go back to this settings. You'll see all this info. Here's my 2 tags, game NFT. I can actually even click this. I forgot to mention to add any custom tags. So if you have a trending tag or something that you would like to add, you can add it in. It's fully discoverable on Valist. And then here's just the rest of the pages again. And if I go back, you'll see there's actually this other button called pricing. So every app and project on Valist is an NFT. And what this enables, again, like Alec had talked a bit about, is full on-chain native DRM, which means I can token gate my application itself from the license perspective, or I can even token gate individual content inside of my application through Valist for things like inventory items, DLCs, really whatever you would want to token gate or do, fully supported. So here, by default, we have a max license limit of 0. So this just means the limit is limitless. You can, as many people as they want that want to pay for the license can pay it and mint a new one. But I could even set this to 200 or something if I wanted to have like limited edition licenses or something like that. And then we also support any ERC20 token that is currently deployed on Polygon. Here are a bunch of the really cool default ones we have. A lot of people like to use USDC and stable coins, but you could even add multiple to accept multiple payments. So if you want USDC or ETH or this or that, you can add them all. So then in terms of aftermarket sales or resells on game licenses and games, maybe somebody bought a game, they had a lot of fun playing it, there was a limited amount of licenses, they resold it to somebody else. We have full support for the royalty standard. You can set your percent, you can set your address. Any aftermarket sales on your NFT will go right to your royalty address. And then, of course, the withdrawal page. So directly through Valist, any licenses that are purchased, any ERC20 tokens that go to your account, you can withdraw them directly from here to any address or ENS. The withdrawer does need to be, someone who is on that account project, but you can then withdraw it to anywhere you would like.
Account admin to be specific.
Yeah, account admin to be extra specific. So now that, we've kind of gone through all the settings and stuff here, let's do a quick release. So I'm just going to do 0.0.2 because I already have a 0.1. I'm just going to say an example release to describe a little bit about this release. If you need an extended description, you can fill out the description field with, again, markdown or any info you'd kind of like. You can also add a release image just so that, when you display this metadata in a wallet or something like that, it would display it, but I'm going to skip that as well. And then, so for the upload, it's just an easy, sorry about that. Easy drag and drop upload here. I'm just going to pull up my Finder window here, and then I'm actually going to go to my build folder here. So this is my Unity game that I have that I would like to publish. And this Unity game has a build folder with an index.html and all of the Unity assets that I need. So if I drag and drop that, it's an easy to view file list there. I can then create this release and publish it. And so what I'm actually going to do though, I'm going to go back to the main screen because I already have a release published. And if we take a look at that, 0.0.1, here is my full metadata with the IPFS gateway to these Unity files. And I can actually hit launch to launch this Web3 Unity example game. So we launch in here and, there's the portal to the metaverse and you're going to have to play the game to see where the portal leads. So check it out. Check this example out on there. But something that I really want to demo, I know I'm running a little short on time here, but if I actually launch this, this is actually the native Valist Sapphire desktop app. So we call it Project Sapphire, Sapphire for short. And you'll see I have my exact same flow here where I can browse all of my different projects and stuff that I've published. But now I also have some additional things like a library tab and some stuff like that. And so if I go in here and now I click launch, sorry, it actually launched on the other screen, it'll actually launch a native full screen window where I can then take any Unity game and play it in a native way. And so just to showcase this really quick from the discovery page here, any dApp, Valist has a full built-in wallet. any dApp, anything here, I can go and launch. Here's Papers, a previous one that we had. We also have a couple games on the discovery page. Please, please, please upload your descriptions, your images, everything. We would love to feature you on the discovery page. Any of your projects, upcoming gaming studios, please reach out, upload as much as you can. We would love to feature any hackathon winners on this discovery page, especially. But yeah, check out all the amazing games here. And I'm going to pass it back to Alec.
Awesome stuff, Zach. Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, we can't wait to see all of the amazing apps that are published. And again, yeah, we have this microgrant program as well. We have this Valist partnership community. So if you are moving on past this hackathon as well to build out a game into a full application after this as well, definitely reach out to us. But yeah, that is about it. There's one thing that I wanted to show real quick, just because I didn't get the chance to earlier, but this is just a CLI publish. I just wanted to show you how quick it is to publish with the CLI. So I've got a multi-platform Go project here that I configured to build multiple versions of a Go binary. And then I configured a valist.yml file with this account, this project, and this release version. I give it a path, and then I named this Hello Go binary, Hello Go, and I told Valist to the Darwin AMD version is called Hello Darwin AMD 64 inside of this folder, and the other versions so on. And then Valist can interpret that as such. You type Valist publish, it asks you what account to use. It uploads everything to IPFS and Filecoin. It does a meta transaction for you. Again, every transactions outside of the software license NFTs on the platform are free of charge and powered by the protocol through the OpenGSN relays. And so, we could view this here as well as on the actual app and being able to, and then the Valist Sapphire application will also be able to interpret and install that build as well. So that will do it for us. Thank you so much. We're so excited to again see what amazing things you build, and we hope you have a great ETHOnline, and we'll see you in the Discord and in the docs.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Cheers.